Welcome to the only place where real, raw, and vulnerable conversations happen with IFBB Bikini Pros to give you an inside look at their struggles, strategies, mindset, passions, and all of life beyond the stage. This podcast is made to inspire, motivate, and remind competitors and the average gym goer that even the most extreme lifestyles and elite athletes have their ups and downs. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm your host, Celeste Rains-Turk, and now it's time for the Confessions of a Bikini Pro podcast. Okay, guys, we've got a surprise episode. It is Olympia week, one of the most exciting weeks of all time in the bodybuilding community, and I am so happy for all the amazing women who are going to be stepping on this stage so soon, and I have so much love for all of them, and I'm actually so sad that I won't be there, and I'm kind of regretting my decision, but I decided, I didn't want to feel like I was missing out, and if anyone else was not able to go, and obviously we'll all be watching the live stream, I'm sure, I thought, let's do a really cool, fun compilation episode with all of the women who are competing at the Olympia who have come on Confessions of a Bikini Pro podcast, and I put it together. I'm so happy for you guys to hear it. The way this episode is going to work is we're going to go in alphabetical order because it's just the easiest way for me to do this. So you are going to be hearing the voices of many different athletes, specifically Ashley KALTWASSER, Alexandria Ross, BEATRIZ, BREENA MARTINEZ, CAMILE PERIAT, Jennifer DORIE, Jessica Palmer, Jourdanne Lee, and LAURALIE CHAPADOS. What a freaking lineup! And it's going to be in that order. So bonus points if you recognize their voice before coming back to here or look at the order listed. So excited. Enjoy. We're going to start with the question I ask everybody, which is, what is the one thing you do or a ritual you have right before your heel hits the stage?
Okay, so right before, if you've seen me at shows, you've probably been like, this girl is a freaking weirdo. Right before I hit the stage, I do this weird thing where I put both my hands up to the sky and I close my eyes and I take really deep breaths and I just breathe. I remember reading this book and they said just kind of like doing that is called a power stance.
I knew you were going to say that. I was like, is this a power stance?
Okay, has somebody else told you about this? Because I thought it was crazy when I heard it. So I'm so glad it's not crazy. But
no, it's not crazy.
Yes, I do it. And I don't know, I just kind of visualize putting all my little anxieties and stress in this shoebox in my stance. And then I kind of just pass it on up and just give it away and take a deep breath and then I go. So I don't know.
You know what? Yeah, I do. I have in my mind, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have fun with this. I always try to think fun, happy. Even if I'm tired or even if I'm hungry or whatever it may be, just think, wow, I trained so hard for this moment and I'm about to have the most fun I can with it. Enjoy every second of it.
Well, right before stepping on stage, besides eating and drinking a little bit of water, some sweets, maybe I think that the thing that I think about is nothing. It's like a blank wallpaper because I don't know, I forget about everything. But right before I step on stage, I remember my posing routine, of course, because I'm always afraid of forgetting something or not looking like a natural bikini about walking. I'm talking about walking, but
yes.
looking natural and everything because of mistakes or anything like that. And of course, I remember my family.
I take a deep breath, I close my eyes, I do take a second to visualize my routine, and then I tell myself these three things. I can, I am, I did. I can get on the stage. I am getting on the stage. And when I finish my routine, I'll be able to say I did get on that stage and I gave my very best. That's always my mantra, you know, and anything that I really do, but in particular, as you said, stepping on stage, I have to be my biggest cheerleader before I go out there. And so it's very positive. It's very motivational. You know, I've got my headphones in with my like specific playlist of motivational music, and I'm just trying to take it all in and step on that stage and just bring my best.
So, well, I look at a show as like kind of like how a warrior would go into battle. Like I literally prepare myself for a battle, and even when I'm like weeks out when I'm training in the gym, like that's how when people ask me like, you know, what gets you motivated to like, you know, finish, you know, to get through, and that's literally what gets me motivated. I have a lot of love and respect for my fellow competitors. A lot of us are really good friends, but when it's, you know, down to like showtime, it's game on. So I literally envision like beating them.
Everyone knows my butter tart pump up
Yes.
ritual. I think I'm like famous for that. So yeah, the butter tarts are usually what I do as like my last minute carb up the night before in the morning of the show. It's a Canadian dessert. It's kind of like the inside of a pecan pie in like a little shortbread tart. So that's my little good luck pump up secret.
Okay, I was gonna totally ask you about that. Like, how did you even learn that was something that, oh yeah, like this would be good?
Well, it's very like, it's a combination of like fats, sugars, and carbs, obviously. So it's like, I think like for one tart, it's about 40 to 50 grams of carbs and like 15 grams of fat. And it's something that I just, for some reason, digest very easy. And every time I ate one, I looked insane. So I was like, these are going to be my new trick. So I think I did it one time previously my coach was like, oh, you can just have a dessert the night before. And I had butter tarts because I love them. And I tried one and he was like, wow, you looked really good. Let's continue with the butter tarts. So ever since then, I've been a little butter tart fanatic.
Wow, that is awesome. I love that. Like, that is so random too.
Yeah. I'm like, that's a Canadian secret.
Yes.
Joke around now.
I mean, that's a tough one. I mean, I guess it's just really, it's not really like a ritual necessarily, other than, you know, eating like a pump up snack and pumping up. Kind of just going over your individual routine or just different things in your posing, making sure that your number's on, your suit's in the right place, hair's, you know, all neat. But I wouldn't say there's a ritual. It's just more so staying calm. I don't necessarily listen to music or anything. I just pay attention to, you know, when they're calling for us. Ritual wise, I guess I would just say just try to stay calm. This past year, I actually became really close friends with another competitor, JOURDANNE Lee Pineda. And we did a lot of shows this past year together. So her and I kind of just get in.
Yeah, actually, I do have a ritual.
Cool.
So besides super quiet time and no devices, I put my phone away. My coach, Jamie DeBernard, she does a quick check just to make sure that the bod is on point and everything is where we need to be. And then one of my besties, Jessie Palmer, we have this like little like handshake thing. It's like a pinky kiss thing. I can't describe it, but it's something that we do when we're backstage. And we don't even talk when we're backstage, but we do that, and then we line up and we just get in the zone. So yeah, I do have a little bit of ritual. It's hilarious, but
that is so cute.
that's what it is.
I have this thing where like my brain just go off. To like refocus, you know, on the stage and just like visualize, I get this squat. So I will be like just in front when I see the judges, just before I see the judges, I will hit just a squat in my heels, and it gets like my blood flow in my legs, and like that's my ritual before the stage. And you know, right before I hit the stage, I put the biggest smile on my face, and I'm just like show goes on. you know.
So now that you know exactly what these women are going to be doing before their heel hits that Olympia stage, well, unless of course things have changed since then, now it is time to get their best advice. So this is the point in the show where I always ask, what is your best advice for someone who is looking to get into competing, as well as for the person who is already competing and on their road to pro? Let's hear it.
Okay, let me think on that. So advice for people coming to this sport. I would say if you're brand new to this sport, entering it, just come into it with positivity. Come in knowing you're going to evolve in some way. And also know, like, it's okay to ask for help and learn and grow. I don't know, just learn and grow, and have fun with it. And if you're not having fun with it, or if you're feeling like, you know, maybe more of the time you're kind of like, maybe recognize that it's not for you, and that's okay. It's not for everybody, you know, but make the most out of it and enjoy it, because it can be something so amazing. And you can turn it into something so amazing. I really believe that, because there are genuine people that want you to succeed and love it so much that it can pour out onto you and change you in some sort of way. Yeah, so I think for new competitors, just go into it knowing you're going to get some growth or something out of it. And it might not be what you expect, but find it and freaking roll with it. And then for national competitors trying to get your pro card, I would say, I'm trying to think, like, I really want to make sure I say what I want to say. It sounds so cheesy, but sometimes I wish I could go back to it, because it was so exciting it's so exciting at the pro level, because I feel like I'm starting over every single show. But just enjoy those moments, and don't be upset if you don't get it. Because if you truly love it and you're doing it for the reasons, like your why, I promise you will get it when it's time. I know when I was trying so hard, I look back and I wasn't ready. I can tell you, when I look back at every single show, I can tell you, nope, I was not ready for it. And I thought I was. I thought I was. But how it played out for me, and when I turned pro, I was ready, and I was mentally ready. And all those times leading up to it had a purpose and a meaning, and just appreciate it and try to find that within. And if you love it, don't stop. That's my biggest thing. Just please, please, please do not stop, and know that if you're doing it for the right reasons, you will get it. I promise. I promise, I promise, I promise. You will get something out of it. Some sort of amazing self-growth, some sort of opportunity. There's so many opportunities, right? Like, yeah. I mean, even if it's an opportunity to meet someone really super rad, you're going to get that opportunity. Like, there is so much opportunity in it. You can't just be like, I didn't get my pro card and I'm giving up and blah. Like, you got to find the love for it and find that little lining, because I promise you, if you look hard enough, there was a lining. And if you don't see it, I will go and find it for you, because there really is. Like, even if it's your makeup looked bomb that day and then you went out that night and talked to a hot guy and he appreciated your bomb makeup, like, that's a silver lining. Good for you, girl. Like, there is always a silver lining. So just find it and focus on those, and and know it will lead to something good if you're doing that.
So the person who is thinking about competing, the advice I would be giving them is be a master of your craft before you step on stage. Research the sport, know how they pose, know what the bikinis look like, what's a good bikini company. You know, there's so much that goes into the sport than just working out and then showing up looking good. Okay. There's so much, because you can have a great physique, right? An awesome physique, maybe the best physique on stage, but if you don't know how to pose, you don't have the right suit, you don't have the right tanning or hair, it's just all going to go to waste. Okay. And I've made that mistake before too. Okay. My first show, I had this white off the rack bikini. My hair was bleach blonde. My tan was not even a competition tan. It was like a mystic tan, like from the salon, you know? I mean, this was like when bikini was a little bit newer, but still, like, I was clueless, so clueless. Okay, my body did not look bad, but everything else was just. I showed up and it was like clear, like, yeah, this girl, she didn't research it enough. So it's definitely something you need to do. YouTube's great. So YouTube, you know, the current bikini competitions that are taking place these days. And then for the person that I would say is getting their pro card, however long it takes you, don't give up and don't get discouraged. And don't like I say, don't go into a show expecting a lot of things. Okay. It's one of those things, like, if you get it, that's great. You know, eventually you will, if you have the right mindset and you're consistent and you have the genetics for it, you think you can do this, you can do it. Okay. But don't come into a show and get discouraged if things don't go the way you want, because those are the people that will go hard competing in so many shows for 1 year, and then you don't hear about them the next year because they're just done. They're over it. They burnt themselves out and they expected too much. So just keep consistent. Every show is a learning experience. It's important to take time to look and reflect and see what you need to work on for the next show. And you're going to get a lot of people saying, oh, you should have won that show. Your friends and your family, of course, they're going to say that. They say that. I have news for you. Everyone's friends and family are going to tell them that they should have won. But it's important to be real with yourself. Get an opinion from somebody who knows the sport. A judge's feedback is the best. But just always take that into account. Be realistic with yourself so that you're able to improve and learn from every mistake that you make.
About the first one, to build the base of everything, to have a coach, to have a job, to sustain everything, because you will have to have money to travel, and therefore to have many good experiences and everything. So you will never lose money when you travel, and when you compete. But yeah, to have a base and to create the lifestyle before wanting to create the competition one, because the competition is it's not so beautiful. It's not like everything. It's not like we say in Portuguese. It's not a notion of roses, you know, um mar de rosas, as we say in Portuguese. It's not everything good. So you have to build the base, so you can build the superior part from that. You have to have a coach, you have to have a job, as I said. You have to build the passion about training and about the diet, about everything you have to have before going to the to the next stage, I will say. So yeah, building yourself as a gym athlete before building yourself as a stage athlete, because I see many girls and boys saying that they want to start working out because they want to compete. And I think that they are inverting the things, because you have to want to work out first of all and then you have to want to compete. You have to, you don't have to go to the gym and don't know what is bodybuilding, but you have to go to the gym and want to do a leg day, for example, because you want to do a leg day and because you want to, for example, be healthier or have a better shape for the summer or something like that. And then you can go to the stage part, you know? So yeah, build the base. About the first one, build the base. About the people who want the pro card and is fighting for that, just to continue doing that, because as we said before, I went to the overall 7 times or 6 times out of 7, and I lost 5 of them, because one of them I won the pro card, and I lost pretty much all of them almost. And even though I was losing it, I kept going and I kept working out, I kept the diet, I kept everything, and I kept, first of all, the passion I had about everything, because I built that before, and I was going to the gym before, I was dieting before thinking about competition. So yeah, founding combining the two answers, as I had the base, I had the conditions to keep going, because I was doing what I liked. I was doing what kept me dreaming every day and kept me falling asleep as a baby. So yeah, I kept doing that. So if I could, you can too.
The best advice I can give is you cannot out-cheat the grind. I feel like, for me, I always thought that I would be able to accomplish things by just pure hard work, to the point where it drove me crazy. I mean, I was literally running marathons every day. That isn't smart. Timing is everything. Things are not going to be achieved overnight, and with this sport in particular, it's constantly growing, Celeste. When I look at how my body was when I achieved my pro card, I say this all the time: you take that body where, you know, I won my pro card at the USA Championships in 2014, you put that body on stage now against any of these ladies at nationals, I would get destroyed, annihilated. That is how much the sport is growing, you know. And so for me, it's understand that you need to develop a little thing that we call patience. And you also have to understand that your frustration that you feel is simply wasted energy. You need to understand how to manage your emotions and how to keep things in perspective, because otherwise you will then allow your emotions to make you make decisions that are not conducive for you. I can say that from experience, because that's what I did. I mean, I'm a trainer, and I still made those mistakes, you know. So it makes me wonder, man, I have all this knowledge. What about the people that don't have that knowledge and then go down that route? So that is the one thing that I want competitors to understand. It does take time. You have to be patient. Frustration is wasted energy, and you have to understand that everything in life, to be honest, that's a great lesson just in life in general. Whether it's trying to get your pro card, or, you know, trying to, you know, achieve some accolade with your education or with your profession, things take time. You don't want to rush through that, because there is something to be said about the journey that you take to get to that end result. You cannot just focus on the end result. There is a rhyme and reason to how we get there, and when you're able to be more present in that journey to get there, you will get there when you're supposed to get there, and you'll be able to enjoy it that much more.
Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. Like, seriously, that advice is, I feel like, something that everybody needs to hear right now, because it's easy as competitors to be impatient, to get frustrated, and to want to speed up the process, when in reality the beauty is lying right there in front of us. It's happening right now in this present moment. You're on your journey to one of the greatest accomplishments that you've ever wanted, and yet you want to speed through this process of getting there. It doesn't make sense. So I personally really appreciate that advice, and I have been working on it myself, and I've just recently come to find that the patience and the willingness to step away from the emotions is very, very helpful in actually enjoying the lifestyle, enjoying the journey of it all. And so, and I love that you got passionate about it, by the way. I could hear you move your body while you were saying it. I was like, that's awesome.
If you could see me, it's like I'm flailing my arm. I'm like, my face is getting closer to the computer as if you're here. I mean, most of my friends will tell you, if you were to ever interview them, they will tell you that I'm very passionate, I'm very demonstrative in everything that I do. But it's just because I really, really feel, I feel for everybody out there. The trials and tribulations that we go through are part of the journey. And when we stop trying to, I feel like I was always in the past trying to be that perfectionist. That word simply doesn't exist. You are already enough. You're just simply trying to enhance what you already have. So I think that when we can stop being crazy and stop judging ourselves and stop, with all the negativity, because I think a lot of us, it's not that we get negativity from others as much as we give ourselves that negativity. We got to learn to get out of our own way. Once we figure that out, things become a lot easier.
Okay, so my advice to people going for their pro card, road to pro, bless your hearts. It's an awesome, it's a great sport. It's a great league to be a part of, but be patient. Don't beat yourself up. Don't let it consume your life. It's just like we were talking about, there's only one winner in national shows. It's like winning the flipping lottery, okay? Or it's like a crazy, like, algebraic equations in order to win a national show. It can be so hard. And I've seen so many, like, I now as a coach get major anxiety when my athletes go to nationals, because I've seen, it's so hard. Like, it's so hard to watch sometimes. Like, you have such a short period of time on stage, and, maybe you didn't catch the judge's eyes because they've been watching competitors for 12 hours or whatever. Don't take it with a grain of salt. It's not the end of the world. Just because you earn your pro card, you are entering another league that you are going to be at the bottom, working your way back up. So enjoy the NPC. If it happens, it happens, but don't bust yourself and don't sacrifice everything for this pro card, because, not everyone will get their pro card. Everybody someone who's getting into the NPC and starting out and wanting to do their first competition, just remember why you're doing this. You're doing this for a reason, and hopefully it's for a reason because you want to better yourself. You want to try a different sport. You want to have a goal. That's the right reasons. If you've never competed before and you're, I want to be a bikini pro before you've ever competed and you just started working out, well, you might have a really long road, and who knows how you're going to take criticism, So you have to have a strong mind, a strong will, love it for what it is, and don't close your eyes to all the gifts you get from your journey along the way. It can open so many doors, and so many people are focused on just one thing that they don't realize what's coming at them in other directions. So, look at it as a whole, as a fitness journey, and, whether it's a pro card, whether it's a win, whether it's last place, but you have changed your body and you are so proud of it, you've inspired all these people around you, like, whatever reason it is, just, remember why you did it, who you are, and the benefits that come along with it. There.
So for a new competitor, I'd definitely say, like, stay true to yourself. Same thing if you're looking for your pro card too. Stay true to yourself and your morals in the industry, because obviously there's a lot of stuff in the industry. So I think it's important to remember who you are and, like, what your purpose and your drive is, not getting sidetracked by, I wouldn't even call it like fame necessarily, but some people kind of get caught up in thinking that they're better than someone else just because they've done well at a show or they've been on like a certain stage. And at the end of the day, we're all people. So it's like, whether you have a pro card or whether you're not, you're still the same person. Your life is not going to dramatically change necessarily. So I think just like, don't place yourself on a pedestal just because you've done well or anything like that, because the sport can change at any second and you can be torn right off of it. So it's like, just stay true to yourself. And as a first-time competitor, definitely get a good coach, someone that you mesh well with, and someone whose principles of training and nutrition you agree with and that you think work well with your body.
So as far as someone just kind of like thinking about competing or first-time competitor, I guess my biggest piece of advice is narrow down your why. Why do you want to compete? What are your reasonings for it? And then also making sure that it makes sense. And what I mean by that is, does it make sense with your career, with your, your home life, your family life, your financial even? Does it make sense? And then number one importance is really finding the right coach. Just as with any sport that you dive into, this is an extreme sport. If you're going to be good at it, you've got to make sure that you've got the right coach leading your way, because this sport itself, it does involve a lot with your health, not only your physical health, but your mental health as well. So making sure that you find a coach that is going to lead the way for you, lead it right, and lead it smart. And really, there's a lot of great coaches out there that I see, but there are still a handful of really bad ones. I think it's gotten better over the years, for sure. Just like with social media, we're able to kind of know what's good, what's bad, especially with a lot of pros or experienced competitors or coaches kind of putting out more information. We're able to know, what's right, what's wrong, especially with first timers or new competitors. The other piece of advice was for someone wanting their pro card. Was that
yes.
it? I think the biggest thing for me when I was chasing my pro card is know your weaknesses, know what you need to improve upon, have the right people in your corner, and be realistic with yourself. If your journey might not look the same as the girl standing next to you, you might need to take more time. You might need to take a full year off after, first hitting the stage, or you might be ready to head to the national stage. Like, you've got what it takes, go ahead and go. But that journey is going to look a little bit different for everyone, and just kind of figuring out, are you ready for the national stage, or do you need a little bit more time? And then figuring out what exactly it is that you need to change or build upon or improve upon. But really, once you get up to that national level, just being passionate, putting your heart all in, making no excuses, and just working hard. I really believe that the main reason that I got my pro card is just that I didn't give up. There were so many times where I was told, no, you'll never be a pro, or, it's just not in the cards for you. But if you put your heart to it, you put your mind to it, you can get it done. It's just, don't make excuses. And don't take the shortcut. Just put in the work, put in the time, keep showing up.
Do your research. I know you're probably like, everyone says that.
It's great advice.
Okay, so let me elaborate on that. So do your research on who you would like to coach you to that level. Okay. And ask questions so you understand what their methodologies are. Social media is a very powerful thing. Reach out to other athletes so you can ask them questions and pick their brains. Ask to get on the phone with people. When we bring potential clients on with Fit Body Fusion, we actually like to talk to people on the phone. There's no way that I'm signing up with a coach just like everything through email and I've never met them before. I want to have some sort of human element or human connection within the relationship. So really do your research around coaches, their methodologies, and their success rates. Ask questions to other athletes. Do researches on shows. So if you're trying to obtain your pro card, look at the shows in the past years And so you can understand, what the competition is looking like. Earlier, I know that we talked about focusing on your best self, you versus you, but there's a level of expectation or a level of competition that you have to make sure that you can meet, being your best self, obviously, before you hit the national stage. So you can kind of level set with yourself in terms of, oh, okay, maybe I have a little more work to do. This lineup, they're very developed in the upper body area, and that's an area that I need to work on, So looking at, show histories, how competitors did, so you know exactly what to expect. And then it's also important to ask questions around those shows as well. Don't be afraid, there will be somebody who will answer you. Don't stop trying, Some people may not even get to it in their inbox, but don't give up. Seriously. Don't give up. And then the other thing too that I wanted to mention, around, for the first timers and competing and looking for a coach, one of the things that is so important, let's say you're given like a meal plan or something, and you don't know how much food you're intaking, or you don't understand what like the grand scheme is. There probably should have been a little more research done. And I see this all the time. I'm not eating anything. I'm always starving. I'm binging, blah, 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 blah. Well, then my question is, do you know how much food you're eating? No. Okay. That's the first opportunity there. Figuring out what you're actually putting in your body, because you need enough food to fuel you, right? So those are the main things that come to mind, when you ask that question. But it really just comes down to doing the research and really understanding all of the things that you're getting into. So sorry, I like to use this analogy. So you have high school football, then you have college football, and then if you're good enough in the college leagues, you get drafted to go to the NFL. Okay? Mm-hmm. That is the same for this competition world. You have your local shows. Then you have your national shows. If you win a national show, you're inducted into the professional league. So in embarking on this competitive thing, it's understanding what that progression is. And each time you graduate, it gets more challenging. And with that, you're going to have to grow, not just physically, but mentally, because the mental game, it gets more tricky as you continue to move up.
Honestly, just go for it and be consistent and get the proper guidance. Get surrounded by people that want to see you grow and persevere. I mean, I thought being an amateur that was the work, but like when you get to the pro, that's where the work starts. But I mean, the bikini division gets crowded. There's a lot of, criteria is changing, and just focus on being the 100% best self that you can be, but always with like this person, a coach or just this expert that can help you, having this second pair of eyes and guide you to be the best self. And don't, if you're about to compete, don't let any details, whether it's your suit, tanning, makeup, hair, bikini is about everything, posing, and of course, like your training and nutrition, but it goes way more than that. So yeah, just stay consistent and just do it. If you feel ready to do it, do it.
Totally. That's awesome. And what if someone doesn't feel ready? What would you tell them?
Do the next one.
Do it until you feel ready.
No, but there's like so many competition. Like, don't put pressure on yourself. Bodybuilding is you have to do it one thing. You have to do it for yourself. The moment you start doing for, any reason, Instagram, fame, or whatever it is, you're gonna have a hard time. I'm telling you. This is not gonna be fun. If you're doing it for someone else or for something else than you, it's not gonna be fun. So first thing, make sure you're doing it for you. If you don't feel ready, if you don't feel it in your intuition that you're not gonna have fun, just don't do it. Because it's gonna be a waste for you and just for the judges, because they're gonna see you're not having fun, and that's the point of it. And there's right now, like the NPC and the IFBB, they have so many shows, so many amazing shows and opportunities. I think you can just 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or like take a 1 year break and come back the year after. The stage is gonna be there still, and if you're doing this for you, you're gonna put the work, and time is not gonna be a factor.
And there you have it. Words from 9 of the most elite professional bikini competitors who are going to be gracing one of the most prestigious stages, if not the most prestigious stage in all of bodybuilding history this coming weekend. So I hope you are all cheering them on. I hope this gave you that spark you needed, whether that's for your next cardio session or while that's during your cardio session, or that's on your road trip to Las Vegas right now to go watch and cheer them on. Just let them know how much you appreciate it. They love these messages. We love them, and they deserve to experience that love. I feel so grateful. And if those of you guys who have been featured on this show, if you pros are listening, we appreciate you, Ashley, Alexandria, Beatriz, BREENA, CAMILE, Jennifer, Jessie, Jordanne, and LAURALIE. Thinking about you all so much. Thank you for the way that you show up in this world. Thank you for coming on this show. And I'm extending so much love and excitement and just gratitude and courage and strength and all the feels to you guys this weekend as you head into make memories that will last a lifetime and make history as well, because I think we all know the bikini division is here to rock the bodybuilding world. So let's freaking do this. And I hope that you all loved this episode and are just as motivated and excited by the Olympia as I am. And I can't wait to share more. And of course, I know that there are going to be many more Olympians featured on this show. So keep your eyes open, because she could also be standing right next to you on stage at your next show. Or maybe it's even going to be you. So I hope you enjoyed this. What did you get from this episode? What were some of your main takeaways? What are the things that you love? Did you like this compilation? I'd love to hear about it. And of course, I'm always so grateful for the reviews, for the shares, for the story promotions. It means so much to me. With all that being said, I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, night, or morning, wherever you are in the world while you're listening to this podcast episode. Just make it awesome.